What up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is Eagle Eye, the transfer rumour show where I talk to you about rumours and news surrounding the Arsenal. Big up to everyone that can tune in, especially live. Please do slap a like button on this video as you come in. I'll be very grateful. Now, I know what you're thinking. You probably sat there thinking, huh? The heck are you doing this show this early for? Well, I'm not going to have time to do it later. And to be honest, the plan wasn't to do an Eagle Eye. In fact, I think I explicitly said yesterday I was not going to do an Eagle Eye today. But it looks like David Ornstein decided to start Wednesday with a banger. And he dropped a tweet. I should really have the tweet up, but like a donut, I don't. But I think if you've read the title of the video, you will get the gist. But I'm going to go to Ornstein's Twitter page very, very quickly, just so I can read it directly from it. He dropped two pieces of news, two very important pieces of news. And to be fair, I did see this news float around yesterday through another source. So to be honest, Ornstein is actually second to this. But he says that Arsenal are putting the finishing touches on a new long-term contract for Bukayo Saka that will settle the future of the brilliant academy graduate, expected to be announced this week. And also intensifying the pursuit of Atletico Madrid, Thomas Partey. We're going to put a pause in the Partey thing. I said to you, for me, with everything going on, tying Saka down to a new deal was the best possible thing we could have done. You know, I think we've had a couple of blows in the last couple of weeks with David Luiz extending his deal. Obviously, our exciting youngster, Balogun, earlier this week, it was announced that he would be leaving the club this summer. So we needed something which was kind of like blow after blow. Obviously, our captain still hasn't signed on, doesn't look like he's going to sign on. But I always said, for me, I could take Aubameyang leaving. What I would find pretty difficult to accept is Bukayo Saka going. Because in my opinion, you see, with someone like a Balogun, you can understand him wanting to go. You can't see a path to the first team. So from his perspective, as disappointed as I personally am because I know what he could do, I can completely understand that situation in a sense that this one's not the club's fault necessarily, although I don't know, sometimes I do wonder why Eddie was given a nod ahead of Balogun, but okay. You know, this one isn't the club's fault necessarily. This one is just circumstance. It is what it is. But a Bukayo Saka one, I would find pretty difficult to accept if he was decided to just go. And actually, for me, that would have been more of a worrying sign because with, you know, the likes of Aubameyang and even players that have left the club before him, or a Seska aside maybe, generally they've been guys towards the latter end of their career. They want that final big contract before they peace out the game. So you can understand why someone like an Aubameyang is reluctant to stay with Arsenal because he might be sat there thinking, all right, well, you know, maybe I should go to a team that actually has a good chance of winning the league or winning the Champions League, you know? Whereas with the Bukayo Saka, he's just starting his career. Moreover, he's an Arsenal man. If we can't keep an Arsenal man, what state of affairs would we be at the club? But I hand it to them. To be fair, it looks as though after a long, protracted negotiations, it looks like we're finally on the verge of announcing this deal. And to me, that does put a smile on my face. For me, I am very happy with that. You guys know I've always I don't often pat myself on the back, but you guys know I've told you about Saka for a long time, and he's starting to show it. And I truly believe this is just scratching the surface with him. I honestly do. In some ways, I actually don't think he's a winner. I feel like he could be a number 10. I really do. I think he's that good. And I think he's just scratching the surface of what he could actually do. That we could actually have ourselves a homegrown superstar on our hands. So to sign him to a new deal, as it looks like is happening, is for me wonderful news. Absolutely, genuinely, of anything that can happen this summer. Yes, I want us to sell the Deadwood. Yes, I want us to sign Thomas Partey. Yes, I want us to get a defender, Upamecano or otherwise. I want us to get a defender. This for me is the best possible news that could have happened this summer. I would like us to follow that up, but this was definitely number one on the list. So, I mean, obviously, you never know what you never know yet. Until he signs it, you can never ever be absolutely sure. But by all intents and purposes, and I did hear this story late last night. Like I heard this late last night from a couple of sources that I normally get stories from. That Bukayo Saka was on the verge of basically like it is more or less a done deal. It's just a case of announcing it now. And I'm happy. For me, I'm so happy. I'm happy that we've actually had a protracted negotiation that's gone well. Because normally, when it gets protracted, you worry for Arsenal. So yeah, good. I'm glad. That's at least one success that they've had. Now on to the next. And speaking of the next, you noticed my little statement about when I was reading David Ornstein's tweet. I mentioned another name that you guys said all summer was impossible. No way, Chig. You're smoking bone. Chig, I didn't think you smoke weed, but you must be smoking weed if you think we're getting Thomas Partey. Yep. It looks like Arsenal have decided, F this, we're going for him. And they've decided that they are, the words used here was intensifying pursuit of Thomas Partey. Now, lots of people have kind of put two and two together, and they think they've come up with four here in the way Arsenal are going to be able to do this. And that is a certain Matteo Guendouzi. Obviously, he was left out of the squad over the weekend. Arteta, even since that weekend, hasn't exactly spit a lot of encouraging bars towards Matteo Guendouzi. It seems like the fallout between him and Guendouzi is a lot bigger than perhaps people realised. And Arteta seems like quite a stubborn character. So when he falls out with you, unless you work hard to prove yourself, a la Ainsley Maitland-Niles, then he has no interest. And the Guendouzi thing, I think, might be one too many. People have been telling me that Guendouzi is valued at 60 million. I'm like, if we get 50 million for Guendouzi, you take that. Don't hold out for 60. Well, it looks like we may be able to solve each other's issues, so to speak, because obviously Atletico Madrid are thinking to themselves, all right, well, we like Guendouzi, you want Thomas Partey. They're both valued around the same. Maybe we could do something. I personally think, surely, if we can get Guendouzi, if we can get the only way I would say maybe we might be able to pull it off, and maybe I personally don't think he's worth this much, but maybe you could argue he's worth 45 million. It's because of his age and the potential. So Arsenal, in that respect, might waive off any kind of sell-on fee or anything. They might just say, listen, you're giving us a 27-year-old, we're giving you a 21-year-old. Let's have a little bit of leeway here. It's a ready-made replacement for you. You give us a replacement for Guendouzi. Jobs are good. Kind of all parties are happy, surely. I think he will suit Spanish football. I do. Spanish football allows you to express yourself a little bit, give you a bit of time, and I think Guendouzi will like that. And I think we get the combative midfielder that we've needed for how long? It's a shame it's taken this long, but we can get someone. I can't describe to you guys how good Thomas Partey is. And if we could get him and slot him in that midfield, even alongside a Granit Xhaka, because let's face it, that's probably going to be the plan. regardless of whether people like it or not. I mean, in an ideal world, it'd be alongside Torreira. Let's just be real here. It's going to be alongside Granit Xhaka. I think Granit Xhaka will become a better player for it. He will have to. He'll have to step up. He would have to step up. So for me, I'm very, very excited by this. Very, very keen by this story. And this was just one that I just thought, you know what, let me, alongside talking about Bukayo Saka, let me also talk about Thomas Partey. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think Arsenal will end up getting him? The player, by all intents and purposes, for months now, is said to have been wanting this move. And not once has he come out and said, I don't want to move to Arsenal. So, in spite of our failings, the guy's still not put off. He's still supposedly very keen on joining the club. Why you would join from Atletico Madrid baffles me. It baffles me. But you know what? If we can get a player of that ilk, I ain't going to question it. I ain't going to question it. So what do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. And I suppose another story I'll talk about, I don't think I'll focus on any other story for now. I'm going to keep this a nice short episode because quite frankly, I need to go back to work. And that is, what's it called? Diot Upamecano. So the story I heard yesterday was that Arsenal's entire focus after sorting out Saka's contract is pursuing Thomas Partey and Diot Upamecano. I must admit, I thought we gave up the ghost with Upamecano, especially because Chelsea was hardcore chasing him, hardcore chasing him. But no, apparently we are really intensifying the chase for Upamecano. And yeah, there's a lot of confidence among the board that they'll get him. This is not only Arteta would quite like him, but actually this is one being pushed by the board. The board are very keen to secure Upamecano. They see him as a player of great potential. Obviously, he's only 21 years old, so the resale value, his potential, the fact that they feel confident that they can get him for, I say cheap, relatively cheap, compared to what he was valued at. It's an appetizing task, and obviously, the grand aim is to pair him alongside William Saliba, particularly long term moving forward. So that is pretty interesting in itself. Obviously, from my perspective, I'm happy with that. I think that would be a pretty good move all round. Listen, I've been very critical about Upamecano in the past because I don't think he's as much of a finished product as you lot make out. I've always said, for me, at the moment, the better player is Canute. Whether it will stay that way is another question. But at the moment, his defensive partner, Canute, is the better player. But, the ceiling with Upamecano is very high. He's strong, he's big. I've had plenty of people describe him as the new Koulibaly. I can completely understand where that sentiment comes from. I wouldn't personally do that to him. I think that's a big weight to put on him, but I can see where that sentiment comes from. But he's talented, he's quick, he's strong. Yes, he does have failings too. Can be a bit clumsy, can lose concentration sometimes. But also he's young, and I expect that to get better. I don't think he necessarily reads the game brilliantly, but I think he's a very good reactor of the ball. Almost early Koscielny. So if you liked early Koscielny, it kind of reminds me of Upamecano, but I think Upamecano could certainly be better than Koscielny ever got to. Don't get me wrong. But if you liked early Koscielny, I think that is what Upamecano is to me. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But it is what it is. What do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. I said I was going to talk about just those stories. I'll talk about this William Saliba thing as well. To me, this is just my opinion on this William Saliba thing. I don't know why people are getting so angry for. I definitely get why Saint Etienne are angry. Supposedly, Arsenal asked for 2.5 million to extend William Saliba's deal so that William Saliba could play in the final. No, Arsenal, they'll look to make money from any situation. This is business. They have no time for friends. They need dough. They saw an opportunity. Probably Saint Etienne were like, what? For one game? Suck out. You must be joking. Arsenal said, all right, cool. And then that was that. I see loads of people bashing Arsenal, including the Arsenal fans. The way I see it is this. Yes, it would have been nice for the kid to play in the final. I'm sure Saliba himself is probably gutted. But at the same time, we aren't obliged to do shit. He's been our player since last summer. So, and yeah, it was part of the deal, but we let them have him all season. Now, yes, nobody foresaw this pandemic happening, but we're not obliged to do anything. It's just like when people were bashing, what's his name? That Bournemouth winger, Ryan Fraser, because he didn't stay on until the end of the current campaign. No, yeah, personally, I think that one to me is a little bit more lower, but I will still argue for him. He ain't obliged to do shit. His contract is done. So he is not obliged to stay on that Bournemouth any longer than he needs to. So I'll never bash a player or a club for failing to extend anything. So it is what it is. It's a shame for Saliba, but at the end of the day, now Saliba gets to come over, train with us, integrate himself into the squad, take part in the training sessions. Yeah, he can't play games, but actually that might be for the benefit of him. Now he can be more familiar with, because let's face it, at some point he's going to have to play with Calamity Luis. So you might as well learn how this motherfucker plays, start to really soak in that kind of information and really integrate himself into Arsenal Football Club. So yes, it's a shame, but I'm not going to be bashing the club. It's one of the few things I ain't going to be bashing the club about. Let them crack on. Let Saliba, my man's had a long rest. Let's face it. It's not like they've been playing because obviously the French league is over. So a long rest. Let him come over, train with the squad, integrate himself back in. Yes, I know he's visited a few times, but now he'll feel like an Arsenal player because he officially becomes one as of today. So, yeah, I'm all for it. I'm happy. It is what it is. So yeah, let's see what we could do. Do I want to talk about anything else? I don't think so, because I'm going to literally just dive up out of here. Let me just quickly check. Hold on one sec. Sorry. One more story that I may want to talk about, but I don't know yet. If it doesn't load in a minute, then I'm going to give up on it. I can't be asked to talk about that. All right, guys, that's pretty much that. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Forgive me, I'm not going to go into the chat room having a chit chat because, like I say, man's got to work. I need to go back to it. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Please do slap a like on this video, please, 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 before you bounce up out of here. I'll be back later on this evening after the game, so probably around 8 o'clock to do the preview and player ratings with Lee. So until then, take care.